I want to thank Chairman Miller and Ranking Member Lofgren for convening this hearing, and Administrator Regan for your willingness to appear before us. Also, it was really great to see Chairman Lucas back in our Science Committee this morning. I'd like to thank Administrator Regan for visiting my hometown of Rockford, Illinois, earlier this year to witness replacement of lead service lines into homes, families. We're solving the problems. The district that I represent, the Illinois 17th Congressional District, we have some of the highest percentages of lead service lines of any district in the country. Last Congress, we passed the bipartisan infrastructure law, which included funds for lead pipe replacement. I'm proud of my colleagues for the work they put into that bill and the work that we're doing today, we're all doing today, to keep communities safe and healthy. But as we're all aware, Congress is facing an appropriations cliff. As of right now, we do not have a set plan to fund the government beyond this weekend. Should the government shut down, what would be the impact of that shutdown for beneficial programs like lead service line replacement that the EPA is implementing?
Well, thank you for hosting me in your district, and it really was a good day. And it's always a good day when you watch the extraction of lead service lines and you see families throughout the neighborhood celebrating. We run the risk of not seeing those celebrations if we have a shutdown. Simply put, the work just can't get done. We've got $15 billion that we want to get out to eradicate lead service lines, both on the public and private side. This money tackles both of those. And without the EPA employees in place to do the work, we just hit the pause button. And that exposes children, the elderly, everyday families, exposes them more to lead in the drinking water.
Before I was elected to Congress, I served my community as a meteorologist for 22 years. I was one of the first people to talk on local television about the impacts of climate change. I represent family farmers in Western Illinois that have generations. I've seen these books of old weather records that go way back. People understand there's a change, as you and I do as well. I'm proud that John Deere and Company is focused on precision ag and lowering inputs and emissions. I'm proud that the new Amazon delivery trucks, the EV trucks, are built in my district by Rivian. And the administration, I'm thankful, is focused on the climate crisis, implementing a whole-of-government approach. Could you elaborate on what role the EPA is playing in this government-wide, but also public and private approach to addressing the climate crisis? And can you expand on how the EPA is engaging in smaller communities to solve the crisis?
Well, I appreciate that. And, you know, I spent a lot of time with Secretary Vilsack thinking through how we use voluntary and regulatory tools for our small rural communities, as well as our larger communities. I think it takes a holistic approach. And so I am spending a lot of time engaging the private sector. We cannot solve this problem without the private sector. So we have great opportunities like this Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, question that was raised about billions of dollars in investment. But we also have the responsibility to engage with the regulated community, with the ag community, on how do we get the best technologies at the commercial scale to ensure we are combating the climate crisis and using every tool in the toolbox. So I have a great deal of respect for USDA, for Commerce, for DOE, for DOT, and you know, the president sets the tone. And he indicated from day one that we would all work together, and I'm really glad we all like each other because we're all working together very closely.
Well, I hope you're feeling that here from the Science Committee as well, because this is a group of people here in Congress that are here to solve the problems of the American people. We put politics aside in this room, and we solve the problems because we know there are real people. We know there's another generation and a generation after that that are going to look back into 2023 and say, what did we do as things were changing? It's got to be a scientific approach. Yeah. I appreciate what you do with the EPA, and Chairman, I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you.